Hi, my name is Mario Moreno, and this is my evidence tree. So in our challenge, we stood up to some variables that help us during the market study and the challenge itself. So these variables, the quantitative ones, are the number of competitors that are on the market, like the other enterprises or companies, foundations, organizations that are related to the same goals and the same customers. So they share that. So that can be named the competitors. So it is important also to have a clue, like more or less how many competitors in the zone, in the area, in Monterrey, in this case, there are, so we can take them on consideration. As well as the income. I refer to the income of the people, the customers, the beneficiaries, where or who they are focusing on doing these ecological houses, um, as well the income itself, the foundation that they have to construct and build all these houses for the people. Another quantitative variable is the beneficiary age. Again, it's like to segmentate the population and focusing in on a specific group of people. So these maybe, I don't know, the people, I don't know, older than 30 years old that have a land on which the organization can construct in. And finally, the market growth rate. And this is important because this implementation of an ecological houses and the use of ecological material for the construction of different buildings and houses, it has an upgrading of growth rate that is increasing from years behind to now. So it is important to take it in consideration. Some qualitative variables are the market trends. As I said, the materials, the ecological materials, and I don't know, different alternatives or trendings that are important in this window of options in the market. Also, the demographic segmentation. It's important to know where these people is living and where the project is going to be done, as well as the ecological materials, which ecological materials we need to, and the type of materials that are going to be used, as well as the sustainability and the safety. If we need materials that are sustainable, and as well they can assure the safety of the people because they are being used on a construction. So some of the project components that we based on this challenge is we need to align, in order to do our proposal, we need to align with the objectives of the organization and their scope, that is help these people that are not in the best well-being conditions and life conditions, and also to be like an ecological objective of the foundation, that is when constructed houses we need to use recycle or use trash or different materials that can be recycled and reused to construct these houses. So there are these two objectives and we need to align with them. We also need to involve the stakeholders, everything that is going to be affected or involved in this project, the beneficiaries, the organization itself, as well as all the other things that are around. Also, we need to evaluate the environmental impact. It goes like with the hand of the objectives. We need to develop a positive environmental impact with this proposal and applies the sustainable principles. So this is important for the proposal, as well as finally analyze the economic viability of the project. And this proposal, well, later I will talk about it, but it is important to for the proposal and the project to be viable economically speaking, for in order to be used. Um, well, talking about economic viability, it is important to involve certain uh, methodologies and tools like the pestle. We can here evaluate and analyze the impacts and the things that can have an effect on the project. Talking about the politics, economically speaking, social, etc. So this is important because we're doing something and we need to like know where we at in society and in the world, as well as the financial analysis and administration of costs. We need to analyze all these costs of doing the house, the terrain itself, as well as the new additions of the proposal. That in our case, I don't think there is any addition of costs because our proposal is to use um, more batteries and use plastic in the in the cement for doing the floor. So we are not adding like more structure or something more like new materials. It's just reusing trash and using in the house in order to keep it more ecological, and instead of throwing out to the lands or trash, we're using these things and reusing them in the house. So but we also need to do this financial analysis and consider the net present value of all the costs, and as well as the internal rate of return. So yes, I believe that the foundation's point of view of the project influence, I mean, it's aligned with their objective, and they are happy with the impact that they're making with people, helping them, and as well uh, um, making a change in the UN SDGs and these objectives of making an environmental impact, a positive environmental impact, reducing, recycling, and using the eco bricks in order to give a safe and a safe house and a safe roof for people that has low, not the best economic situations and life conditions. And if we see this from the beneficiary's point of view, I believe they think also as a big thing. I don't know. I think the project itself and this proposal, it doesn't have like a negative impact in any case because we are helping society and helping the environment. So I think the beneficiary is also happy, and it can also hold in a long term, maybe if they need to have the land paper. So in the future, if they wanted to sell this house, they could. So I don't know. It's like that. And finally, some factors of the viability of everything in general that we need to take in consideration is the ecological sustainable um, factors of this proposal, the location, the waste management, the use of these batteries and this PET and plastic is going to be used for the construction of these houses. So the use of this plastic in the cement of the floors, using the floors of the house, it's crucial, and it's reducing some plastic of the world, as well as the batteries, that there are so many batteries and they are so hard to get rid of. They are also being used in our proposal. Is another factor is the market demand, the type of materials. There are a lot of materials that can be used. We made a research about a material. I don't remember the name, but it was like made of the plant of marijuana. So it was not a viable solution because it is illegal here in Mexico. But it was a really good alternative of a material, and it was used, I think, as it's an alternative of wood, I believe, as well as the objectives and the financial feasibility of the project. It's important. So, thank you very much.